It's a bit of a different video. I was just thinking about the idea of people doing a lot versus actually doing enough, if that makes sense. So, for example, if you're, I don't know, if you're doing, like, say if you've got a business, right, and you're selling candles, that's meant to be what you're meant to be doing. But then say if you're like doing all these things, you're making a fancy website, you're making all these notes, doing this aesthetic thing, making a Pinterest mood board, like, sure, that could help you, but it's not moving you forward because at the end of the day, you want to sell candles, like, all those things help you sell candles. But my point is, right, there's a lot of people in this world that do loads of things, do a lot of things, like I'm talking make plans, write notes, and then rinse and like you get me. They do a lot of things, then that's not really getting them in the direction they want to be in. Like it's a really big trap. Like it's a trap where people feel productive and then like you wake up, you're applying to messages, you're watching loads of videos about doing things, you're planning things, you're saying maybe I don't know, maybe you've been working all day, but then at the end of the day, it's just like, yeah, I did a lot, but you haven't really done anything because nothing's changed. There's no actual, real, feasible progress. There's no results. There's just activity. And like, I think it's like a social thing, to be honest, because doing a lot of things, you get stimulated. Like, your brain's thinking, okay, like, your brain's active. Like, because your brain's so active, you're thinking, okay, something's happening, if that makes sense. And something's happening, but not really. Like, it's really weird to explain. It's like if you go to school and then you like I don't know write a bunch, but then and you think you've done something, but then you don't know the topics. It's a bit of it's just a bit like that. Like for me, I could spend hours. I could spend hours like because I have a business, right? It's a gardening business, but I could spend hours drafting the perfect message. I could spend hours. I've got this customer acquisition spreadsheet just here. It's like it's like a spreadsheet. This isn't all my customers, by the way. It's just a few. I'm still trying. I'm just updating it today because I've finished like working. I've had nothing really to do today. But I have a customer. Oh my goodness gracious! I don't know what just happened. I'm just gonna click back on that. My computer decided it wanted to be a bit weird. I never thought I'd say, oh my goodness gracious of all things as well. That's actually odd. Like, who am I to say that? I'm at, you know what? If you don't see me, well, if I don't upload another video next week, just assume that I've like, yeah, let's not. Anyways, what's your opinion on sparkling water? Because I've been trying this one from, I think it's called Dava, have you say it? I don't know how you say it, but like, you know what? It's actually like, I can't lie, I'm actually enjoying this. I've had like 3 of these. I mean, personally, got like, oh my gosh. I don't know what it is about it. I really like it, and I feel kind of like my thirst has been quenched, but it's like not something I have every day type of thing. But back to the point at hand, people acting but then not at the same time. Like I was talking about my customer acquisition file. That was it. Like I could spend hours on that. I could spend. It'd be pointless if I did that though. Like I could be planning. I could be thinking about things. I could be tweaking the really small things, being like, oh yeah, this has to be perfect because blah 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 or whatever, or researching search engine optimization for a website or whatever because I need to get customers or something like that. But it it feels productive, but if I'm being honest, it grows nothing because at the end of the day, there's still 0p in your bank account. If you want like, for me, the hardest part of starting this business is I wanted money, but the only way to do that was to get customers, and the only way to get customers was to knock on doors. So I figured, rather than me doing some spreadsheet for all the potential customers, like it would be cool, but you ain't got no customers. That's the most important thing. I think you should, when you're trying to do anything, you should look at the situation, think, okay, I want customers. How do you get customers? By doing this. Like, I want money. How do you get money? By getting people to give you money. How do you get people to give you money? By getting customers. How do you get customers? And then you think about the acquisition ways, for example, paid ads. And if you haven't got the money to paid ads, then your business shouldn't be revolving around online stuff because, like, just no. Unless you have the patience to make a community and then get a lot of people to buy your stuff, or make make a demand on something and then do like a pre-launch. Then like say for example, I don't know, if you're doing drop shipping, or you make like a community of people that want this thing and then you wait like 3 months, but in those 3 months you're telling people that you're gonna be doing it, and then you do like a or you do a no sorry you do a pre-launch and you say that it's like a pre-order, so it comes out in 3 months. A load of people buy it, then you have the capital to then like buy the stuff and whatever. But as a tangent, what I'm making is if you don't have money, chances like the best thing you can do is just think of something you can currently do like straight away. For example, if you've got a jet wash. If you've got gardening tools, do gardening. If you've got a lawnmower, do lawn mowing. Knock on people's doors, say, hey, I'll do this for X amount of money, and then they'll either say yes or no. If they say no, go to the next person. But I guess like the point I'm making is there's a really obvious funnel of things that you need to do in order to get money, or in order to get to any goal that you need to get to. You need to do X to do Y. If you want to do good in a test, you need to revise. If you want to get customers, you need to find where the customers are and talk to them. Like, you need to communicate. And if you don't do these things, and you do other things like make a website or highlight notes and make your book look pretty or whatever, you're not gonna get customers. You're not gonna get what you want because you're not doing the things in order to get the things you want. So it's just like, it feels productive, but it's not. It's just really not. It's really jarring. But like, I don't know. I think the reason people don't do the things in order to get to the goals because they might feel scared or something. I think a lot of people avoid things that actually matter because those things come with pressure. So like, you might get ignored if you knock on a door, you might fail, you might look stupid. So instead of staying in motion, you choose not to progress, but you should stay in motion. Like, no, that's the worst way of saying it. I meant to say, like, instead you stay in motion but you don't progress, and by that I mean like you stay busy. Yeah. So if you people don't do things. Sorry about this, by the way. I'm trying to stratify what I'm trying to say in my mind out loud, and I'm really bad at articulating it. I need to get better at that. That's why I make these videos. It's just practice. Because imagine if I do a public speech and then people are like, "What is this guy on about?" I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna shut up and just. But no, what I was saying though is people avoid things because they're uncomfortable, and that might be you getting ignored if you knock on a door. That might be you failing if you're trying to perform this skateboard trick, or you might look stupid or something. I don't know. You're just not gonna be in a comfortable situation. So instead, they choose to stay in motion, but not in progress. So they stay busy and they stay safe rather than staying in progression and staying uncomfortable but getting results at the end. Like, I'm telling you this as a fact. Knocking on doors is the most humbling thing I've done in my life. I went from making like stupid money. I was 19, turned 20, £4,000 per month, making absurd amounts of money, and then stopped my job and I started knocking on doors. And people like, no, they just weren't looking at me. They're like, they saw us there and I was like, yeah, no. Like, it was so humbling. I got so many no's, like more no's you could possibly imagine. But I just think of it like this: you should be seeking the no's because then you know that like there's either more to improve on, or the people don't want what you've got. But I don't know, like, if you can stay in that uncomfortable situation for a strong amount of time, then that one yes that you get, it just like your heart lightens. All of a sudden you forget every single no because you forget like. I couldn't remember. I can't even remember the people that have said no. I remember the people that say yes. It's like, you might feel crap going around knocking on doors. You might feel crap doing whatever it is you're trying to do, but like, when you get that yes, when you get towards your goal, you forget all the negatives all of a sudden. It's like, you should be asking yourself what you can do today, or you can ask yourself what needs to be done in order to achieve your goal. So you can be like, oh, what should I do today? And then get your pen, get your orange notebook. Hopefully it's orange because orange is my favorite color. And you start writing and doodling and doing a bunch of bull crap. Or you can think, what do I need to do to progress? Because don't get me wrong, building a website for a business is progression. I'm saying this specifically because I know a lot of people that build websites for weeks on end, but there's no point in building a website that nobody's going to go on. There's no point in building a website that you don't have customers for. There's no point in building a website when you don't have a funnel. Build your funnel first. Build the pressure on the pipe. And then, when you've built your website, which you'll need to do fast because you've got all this pressure, meaning all this money opportunity, you'll build the website so much faster, like in a day, in an hour, like it'll be stupid. And with AI now, there's no reason that a website should take as long as it does. Like, it shouldn't take anything more than like a day or two. But all of a sudden you built this website now and there's like, you've got a funnel now type of thing. The point I'm making is like, do what actually needs to, that actually needs to be done to move forwards, because like, being busy is not the same as progressing at all. It's just like, I guess, I don't know, maybe in this day and age seen as aesthetic, but at the end of the day, you don't get results from doing everything. You get results from doing what matters consistently. I really need to think about that one. I really need to think about that one. It's because, like, maybe the problem isn't that you're not doing enough. Maybe the problem is that you're doing too much of the wrong thing. Maybe the problem is you're doing too much of the thing that doesn't matter. So instead of doing the things that don't matter, do the things that matter. Do the things that you know will get you to the next place, even if it's uncomfortable. And if you're thinking to yourself between an easy and hard decision and you're stuck in the middle, or I could stay at home or I could go out, choose the hard decision. The reason is because if you're stuck between an easy decision and a hard decision, if the easy decision was the right decision, you would take the easy decision naturally because it's the right decision and it's easy. But if you're stuck between an easy and a hard decision and you're stuck between the two places, you know that the hard one's the right one to go for. So just do it.